It's almost been a full week since the formation patch landed in-game, and yet we're all still wondering, where are formations? So in this video, I'm going to share with you the information I have so far about when formations are going to land, what's going on with Sage's testimony, and a few other news items for the Rise of Kingdoms universe. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and you're probably wondering, like I am, where the heck are formations? Every single day, I'm ready at reset to record a video or live stream, and yet formations still aren't here. Now, there have been a number of people that have reached out to support, and we even got this in-game mail retrieving back the Sage's testimony in-game item. So let's start with what support is saying, and then we'll talk more about Sage's testimony. Now, I have been sent multiple pictures of conversations with support that go something like this. The formation system mentioned in the update email will be activated in some kingdoms first, and will be launched in all kingdoms after a period of time. Okay, so this to me makes a lot of sense, that they're going to test it in a couple kingdoms, but I don't think it's live in any kingdom yet. And they then said, we've also consulted for you about when the entire server will be launched, but it has not yet been determined. Please wait patiently, and the subsequent notification shall prevail. So whatever we say in-game later will prevail as the guidance. And you know, somebody even followed up and they said, sorry, the launch of this is uncertain. Please refer to the actual situation. The updates mentioned in the update will usually be launched in the next update. A little bit of a tongue twister, but I think what they're probably saying is, you know, yeah, it'll probably happen sometime after the update has landed in game. Here is yet another example. Greetings and welcome. Thank you for contacting us. It will be online in some kingdoms first, and then it will be in the other kingdoms. We don't yet know the exact launch time for the other kingdoms, so stay tuned. So if this does launch in one of your kingdoms, please do let me know right away. My best guess is that probably formations are going live in some kingdoms sometime next week, and let me show you why I think that's the case. If we look at the event calendar in-game, we see that Esmeralda's collection is taking place starting on Sunday. That's reset at the time of this recording, which means all the Halloween events are going to land. I don't think they're going to complicate the formation system launch with all the Esmeralda stuff. I mean, maybe they will. But my suspicion is that the holiday events will happen first, and maybe they launch a test kingdom sometime during the holiday events, maybe, but probably a week or two down the road. And a part of how you know that this is probably further out than landing like tonight is that they took back all of the Sage's testimony, which was kind of an interesting one. So Sage's testimony is kind of like Books of the Covenant. You need it to upgrade your state forum, and your state forum is where you run a bunch of quests to get a bunch of the things you need for formations free to play. And if you don't know what formations are, then I will have a couple cards at the end of the video telling you all about formations and armaments. I'll remind you of that later. And also consider subscribing if you haven't already, because I make sure to drop the latest and greatest news as soon as it's available. Now, on the Sage's testimony, we estimated that you would need about 3/4 as many as you needed Books of the Covenant to upgrade your castle. So all that to say, you're looking at like 150,000 gems or so worth of these Sage's testimonies that you would probably need in order to upgrade your state forum. Or you can get a bunch of them free to play, and we don't know the rate with which you're going to get them. Now, if you hadn't noticed, by the way, the Sage's testimony was available for a number of days in the in-game shop. You could buy it. They were 10 gems a pop. The fact that they took it back is kind of interesting. It makes me wonder, A, are they going to change the number of Sage's testimonies that it will take based on player feedback? Is that possible? The other thing, B, that I think about is, are they going to change the gem cost of the Sage's testimony? I mean, if there was a bunch of player feedback that was like, hey, that's not cool. We don't want to have to spend a bunch of gems on this, which, like, obviously nobody wants to spend gems on that. They could lower the price gem-wise, maybe. Is that why they took them all back? Is it going to come back at a different price in the shop? I don't know. So this could mean that they're retuning the formation system, or it could mean, at face value, exactly what they said. The formation system's not here yet. You can't actually do anything with these. We took them all back. They gave everybody 2 hours of speed-ups and a crystal key for your inconvenience. Obviously, my hope would be that they're looking at a gem cost reduction for these things, or even maybe reducing the quantity that you might need, but I suspect we could just take this at face value. You can't actually do anything with the Sage's testimony, so they got rid of it. In fact, they even got rid of the little quest that was visible off to the side talking about the state forum. So I think we're still getting formations like within a week or so, but it is surprising that they clawed back all of that stuff, including all of its visibility. I guess we'll have to wait and see. On the topic of things that were visible in game that shouldn't have been, those of you who are gathering gems noticed that when you were in a gem node, you could see this pop up. Your gem gathering speed will gradually decrease according to the number of gems you've gathered that week. Now, this obviously had people pretty upset, a nerf to gem gathering in the same patch as formations, which is going to require a bunch of gems potentially to go and upgrade your state forum, had people pretty up in arms. However, the developers released an official announcement in their Discord server. In the official Rise of Kingdoms Discord, the new community manager, JZ, said gem mining text error. Governors! After the Hallows Eve update, the gem mining details text description was incorrectly displayed, as your gem gatherer's speed will gradually decrease according to the number of gems you've gathered that week. This error is textual only and does not actually have any effect. We're currently working on fixing this error, which leaves us all wondering, is this something they were thinking about adding in this patch, then decided not to, or is this sort of an thing that was, looked at a long time ago, somehow it accidentally got added back into the final build that went into production, and now it went live and they clawed back the text? We don't know exactly which one that is. I personally don't farm gems because it's way too tedious, in my opinion. In fact, I've mentioned in a number of videos that although some people take the strategy of having a bunch of farms that gather resources and their mains only gather gems, the amount of time it takes to gem farm is astronomical. And yes, in a perfect world, in a kingdom with very few people gem farming, and you have all the attention in the world to dedicate to your gem farmers, you theoretically could pull down like 3,000 or 4,000 gems a day. That is a lot of work for what you get out of it. And in fact, I will make the argument that that takes like the goal of being free to play like way too far. Like, yeah, if you're already at your job and you're able to sit there and look in periodically, like every 10 minutes and send out gem gatherers, okay, I mean, that will be one thing, right? But alternatively, if you spent that energy toward like learning a new life skill that helped you earn more money, like that's not only better for you in real life, but also if you really wanted, you could turn around then and spend that money in game and get probably more stuff worth of gems. I'm just trying to say that like, keep things in perspective when you think about free-to-play value. The gem farming thing is something that, like, I do not personally think is a great use of time, but I am really eager. If any of you have, like, cracked the code on gem farming and think you've really nailed it, I'm interested in your thoughts. Leave them down below in the comments. And as a reminder for how gem farming works, I'll have a card up in the top for my gem farming guide if you're looking for more information on how to do that. I would say the people that need to be most worried about the release of the formation system are actually the people that are in Osiris League. And however they release formations, they're going to need to make sure they pick kingdoms that are not actually in any competitive event right now. They can't be in KVK. They can't be competing in Arc League. Because, like, obviously the advantage of having formations, even just a few days earlier from everybody else, could be pretty big. So for the sake of the competitive fairness, I assume they're going to have to pick some kingdom that's not either in Arc League competitive battles or in KVK. And if you do have formations land in your kingdom, it would be fair to tag me in my Discord server for that. And as a reminder, tagging me for big news updates, big stuff that's happening in-game is okay. Tagging me for Belisarius talents in my Discord server or Commander Guidance, not so okay, because I would be completely overwhelmed and have no time to do anything if everybody tagged me like that. My moderators will hunt you down. So please do let me know if your server is one of the first to go and get formations. If you're looking for more information about formations, armaments, and gem farming, cards will be up in the top and in the end screen in just a second.